Seminar of DS events calendar. Today, our speaker is Dr. Muhammad Hanif. He is working as associate professor and chairman of Department of Mathematics and Statistics. The topic of his talk is the prediction of wheat yield for Pakistan by using stochastic modeling. This seminar will go 30 to 40 minutes, and after the talk there will be 5 minutes, a 5 question answer session. This is very important topic, and especially for the students of applied agriculture, agronomy, horticulture, and other crops. For them it is very important because they have to go through through modeling crop yield estimation. I will request all the participants, please listen the talk very carefully, and if you have any question, please write in the chat room, and after the talk I will ask Dr. Hanif to reply the questions. Our DS events calendar is going successfully, and all the recording all the recordings are available at the YouTube channel of Directorate of Advanced Study. The students who missed any talk can review and can listen the recording. Now I hand over to the mic, Dr. Hanif. Please start your talk.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today it is my pleasure to present the projection of wheat yield for Pakistan by using stochastic model. So this is very important topic for the stochastic problem and stochastic modeling. The objective of this seminar is to present research is to analyze the structure of Pakistan agriculture subsectors of wheat crops by non-stationary Markov chain. I will explain what will be the non-stationary, what will be the Markov chain, and then to project the agricultural structure by the use of transition probabilities obtained from the non-stationary Markov chain analysis. So this is the major objective of our today talks. Before going to directly Markov chain, it is very important to study the variable. You know, variable is very important aspect of any kind of research. Every kind of research is based on the variable. Variable provide the parameter, and in research, it is our main focus how to estimate the parameter, how to predict the estimation, how to predict the estimation and forecasting of different yields. So very important one is the variable. Variable is any characteristics, number or quantity that can be measured or counted. For example, age, business, income, and expenses, country of birth, capital expenditure, class grades, so on. So mainly the variable is mean we deal with the random variable as a researcher. What is the random variable and what is the fixed variable? A variable x which contains same number of result obtained from the experiment you performed even in the field, even in the class, then such kind of variable having the fixed variable, and it even does not exist in reality of the research. The second one is the random variable. Random variable is that assume that take the different values of random experiment. Experiment usually planned in the field, in the laboratory, in the lab, etc. So experiment are different from discipline to discipline in agriculture, in biochemistry, in statistics, in botany, all having their own experiment. But be remember, as a researcher, we have to perform the experiment that will be the random. We never ever use the fixed experiment because fixed experiment does not provide any kind of variation. Random mean variation, so random variable always provides us different kind of the results that we want to measure, the parameters, but on the base of the sample. Very very important problem. Variable provides us the parameter, but how to estimate these parameter, we will focus on the sampling, on the sample. There are different way to select the sample. So to meet the requirement of our current study that I'm delivering today, what is the dependent and independent variables? Dependent variables lead directly to the regression. For example, yields yields of crop depends on the what? Water, fertilizer used in the field. The variable that depends on other factors that are measured, these variables are expected to change as a result of an experimental manipulation of the independent variables or simple variables. So this leads to the concept of the regression. This is one side when the variable depend on each other. Suppose why is the yields? It of course depend on the number of factors that will use while we will perform the experiment. On the other hand, we have the independent variable. Independent variable mean they have their own identity. They never depend on each other. So in such case, this case leads to the correlation, how much these variables correlate with each others. So I am not going to in detail for the correlation because my today subject is based on the dependency of the variable. That is very very important to study the regression. So it is also very simple topic. Most of the researcher are well known about the regression, about the concept of the regression. But to pick the point of my today lecture, I have to firstly describe the regression concept of the regression. Regression analysis is a set of statistical method used for the estimation of the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. It can be utilized to assess the strength of the relationship between the variables and modeling the future relationship between them. The simple regression model is y is equal to alpha plus beta x plus epsilon error. Very very important. When we perform an experiment in field, in reality, error must occur. No one have the perfection. So when error occurs, it means we have to study the intercept, that is also called mean, and beta, that is the slope of the model. Slope where it help this is the independent variable and this is the dependent variable. So that is why y is equal to alpha plus beta x plus epsilon. It is very very important. It is a random model. Random model always assume the variable, always assume the random error. So as a researcher, it is our priority how to reduce the error. So it has a different assumption. It is formulas to estimate, to find the values of the parameter that are alpha and beta. So while we are using the statistical package, we directly get these values alpha, beta, residual errors. So the important one is that the data is based on the residue, how much the value of the residuals. Residuals provides us coefficient of determination, that is the R square. This is very, very important one in the research. The value of R square tells us how much the data is good, how much is data is precise. So regression is based on the coefficient of determination, that is the R square. It has also different branches. We can use the analysis of variation for the regression. So it is vast subject we have to use in our research problems. So here is only one independent variable. It means we have to study only one independent variable, that is x, to find the yields of the dependent variable. So it is the extension of the simple linear regression model. That is multiple regression model. The difference is that in a simple linear regression model, we had only one independent variable. But when we deal with the linear regression model, we have more than one independent variable that we have to study. Simply in agriculture, this is the intercept, X1 is the fertilizer, X2 is watering, X3 is ploughing. These are the factors we have to study. That effect on the yield of any crops. As in our today lecture, we are focusing on the wheat crops. So this is the concept of multiple linear regression. So here is I mentioned y is the dependent variable, x1, x2, x3 independent variable, intercepts. So B, C, and D are the slopes. Again, here is the role of the residuals. So to go our major topic, that is the stochastic process. Stochastic process based on the random variable, that is x. The difference between a regression analysis and stochastic process is that in a regression model, deal, we do not count the factor of time, and we never look the x having the data, which kind of distribution it follow. It may be normal, it may be binomial, it may be gamma exponential like distribution. But it is very, very important when we study the stochastic process. We deal with the random variable, and that random variable follow the specific distribution. What is the distribution? Distribution, a random variable having the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the distribution is a combination of random variable and its constant. These constants are called parameters. And these parameters we have to estimate by using the sample. So stochastic is word that comes from Greek word, which means random process. Stochastic or random process can be characterized as a collection and group of random variables. So I have explained what is the difference between the regression model and stochastic model. Regression model, it do not need any kind of distribution, but the stochastic process, it take account the time and the distribution of the random variable. Time, at which time any result we get. In every kind of experiment, there is time. Without timing, we cannot perform any kind of experiment. Suppose in agriculture, we have planned one experiment sowing wheat simply. It has time, it has specific time, sowing time. At that time, a farmer sow the wheat, and other time he cannot sow the wheat. So this is important time, important factor of stochastic process. We count the time. So, like regression model, stochastic process having its also model. So I will like to explain this model. Consider the following stochastic differential equation which define a continuous time equal to Pn. Continuous time, it is also mean and it is also standard deviation. This is the d of xt. It is, we can simply say this one xt1 minus xt2, xt2, xt3. So this is the mean. We have to estimate the mean dt according to the time, and we have to estimate the variance, standard deviation, you can say, according to the Wiener process. It manages the standard deviation. So in the stochastic process language, we called mean function is a drift function, sigma is a Diffusion function, and t is the time. Time always continues, time gone, and is known as the Brownian motion. Now we come our main point, Markov chain. So it is very simple to understand, very simple to apply. The Markov chain model is becoming a more popular tool to predict the number and the distribution of a population of agriculture farms. Markov chain is a succession or chain of discrete state in time or space. So one thing I want to add here, what is the state? State space. There are two state space. Number one, discrete state space, and the number two is continuous state space. Discrete state space mean you will get, suppose you are performing an experiment and you got your result at suppose 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 p.m. So such kind of space is the discrete space when we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other one is the continuous state space. Continuous state space, we use the interval. Suppose t lies between 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it is the example of with altered probabilities for the move from one state to a. So here, when we study the move from one state to another state, simply one half is one state, the other half is the other state. The other state
डॉक्टर नईम साहब अपना अनम्यूट करें अपना माइक। मजर डॉक्टर साहब का अनम्यूट करें।
ओके सर, मैं करता हूँ।
बाकी कोई अपना म्यूट करें माइक।
डॉक्टर साहब माइक अनम्यूट करें।
हनीफ साहब करें।
yeah, okay, now it's okay, thank you
आप स्क्रीन शेयर कर लें, स्क्रीन आपकी शेयर नहीं हो रही, दोबारा कर लें।
okay, I can share. Okay, I was talking about the states. I have just given the example. I don't know where there was interruption, listen or not. I again explain. There are two states. I simply give an example of football match. There are match between two teams, Team A and Team B. Suppose Team A attack on Team B and they move to their own half for success. For success means they will there is chance to goal or not. Chance means there is probability. Similarly, team B will attack. Team B Team B will attack on team A with the same hope of success, chance of success. So this is called the probabilities because team A transit from
Yes.
state A to state B, then
मैं तो मैसेज किया हुआ है
then,
वो कंटिन्यू है
then they have the concept of the transition probabilities. So this is very, very important. In Markov chain, we deal with the transition probabilities. So let me explain what is the Markov chain. Let stochastic process ym m greater than or equal to 0. It means y having the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is known as Markov chain. If for all times m greater than or equal to 0, time always greater than or equal to 0. And all states I1, I2, so on belong to S. So this is the probability. Y m plus 1 is equal to j given ym is equal to y, so on I m minus 1 is equal to this one, equal to state j. Pij is the notation of transition probability. Whenever in a regime A, state I, you can say it is a regime, moves into next regime J and is known as one step moving probability. The square matrix pi Pij is called the transition probability matrix. And whenever the chain leaves the regime I, it must have to shift to the next regime J. For each regime, we have a sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. So this is the main assumption, main property of the probabilities. As we add all probabilities, it must be equal to 1. If it will be not equal to 1, it means our process is wrong. Our experiment is wrong. So we have to fulfill this property. Sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. That is Ij. This is regime I. This is regime J that are belong to S. So Markov chain model following the publication of Hurlburt 1969 and others has been applied in the analysis and projection of future structural change within the agricultural industry by many other also, for example, Disney, Zepeda, and so on. It is helpful to accept that Markov transition metrics are the after effects of procedures that are stationary in time or space. That is, the move probabilities do not shift with either time or space. Such Markov chain are called stationary. I have already mentioned there are two types of stationary, non-stationary and stationary. I have just given the concept of what is the stationary, but I have worked with the non-stationary Markov model. So this is the stationary. Non-stationary Markov approach. This, yes. which has been proven particularly useful to describe the structural changes over time. We have counted the time is used to model the effect of factor influencing the numbers and the sizes of the form. In response, this Herbert 1969 presented probabilities that were a component of exogenous element and that could change all through the arrangement of investigation. In such cases, one has to use the non-stationary Markov chain. So this is the non-stationary Markov chain. It is not equal to probability of ij. This is for all. This is the notation of for all 1, 2, 3, 4, so on t. A wide range of research has been done in the field of non-stationary Markov chain model and their application in the field of agriculture to project the future structure of agriculture sector. Saying I have mentioned one researcher inspected the auxiliary change in the area usage and moving the range among the different area utilization clauses in India by using the Markov chain analysis. Yes. The Markov chain model are frequently utilized as the stochastic model. I have started from variable. Variable are used in regression. Regression is without time, and we have counted the time factor. Then it is the stochastic model. Stochastic model converted into Markov chain. So Markov chain model are frequently utilized as the stochastic model with which to project the future time path of such variable. Projection is the procedure of making expectation without bounds, taking into account at various time information and examination of pattern following the projection of the structure for n years. We can put n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, n times, n years. The transition probability matrix is multiplied with itself n times. So this is our main model. So this is the Markov. So it is a transition probability matrix multiplied with the number of time. So there are two, n is equal to 2, Pij multiplied by Pij. N is equal to 3, it multiplied by 3. So this is our main point. Now, Markov chain model and assumption. So the Markov switching model is an outstanding among the most famous linear timing arrangement models in literature. This model includes various structure that can represent the time arrangement practices in the different regime. By allowing changes between these structures, this model has the capacity to catch more unpredictable element designs. If there are only two regimes, I have worked only with the two regimes that that were available in the literature, right? Then by following the Font Dukoba 2019, the two Markovian switching model would be estimated, which can be written as, yes, this is the yield, this is the parameter, this is also parameter, and this is also parameter. I explained this one, why here is plus 1. This is simple. This is for regime 1. You can say state 1. And this is for regime 2. Here is 1, 2, 2, and this one is the k plus 1. So I explain now where xi are independent variables. Of course, this idea we have drawn from the multiple regression. All right. So we have changed into two regime. So this one is deviation of the states sigma 1, sigma 2, coefficient of the regression with switching, lambda 1, so on, lambda k. This one is the switching part. This one, first one is. And this one is without switching. Coefficient of regression without switching effect. Lambda k plus 1, it is only lambda 1. So here are the transition probabilities P11, P12, P21, P22, because we have two regimes. So the matrix will be 2 by 2. The projected transition probabilities are P11 power n, P12 power n, P21 power n, P22 power n. So we can also write the model parameters that can be written as lambda, sigma, like one pi, pi dash. These are the matrices of the transition probabilities. Here pi represents the transition probability matrix and pi represents the projected transition probability matrices. To know the significance of independent variable, the basic assumption of OLS, ordinary least square estimation, that are linearly, normality, multicollinearity, and autocorrelation are checked for possible violations. After detecting the presence of multicollinearity, it is removed by the ridge regression. This is the tool. Then Markov switching model is applied to the data. The two regime can be defined as two states separated by the average value of the dependent variable. If the value of the dependent variable in response to the independent variable are less than or equal to the average value of the dependent variable, then it goes to the regime 1. On the other hand, if the greater than the average value, it goes to the regime 2. So this is the main idea how to conclude the results. So this is our model we have presented in our research. The above Markov switching model related to present research can be written as, this is the outcomes, yields, lambda 1, that is the fertilizer, pesticide, tractor, tubes, electricity, agricultural rainfalls, wheat prices, and it is the error. It is the regime 1. Similarly, it is the regime 2. So this is the model we have proposed according to the condition of our country. That is suitable for the research of our country. So we have proposed this model. In this model, both there are without regime and with regimes. The aim of this study is to analyze wheat yield of 4 provinces of Pakistan by using the Markov switching model. Markov switching model results showed that Markov model are much better forecasting technique as it yield much lesser value of residue, standard error, and also produce high value of R square. So this is the main criteria of the goodness of data. The wheat yield is projected to the next 10 years in the term of transition probabilities. These Markov switching models are helpful for the practitioners and agriculturists because it yield better forecast in the term of probabilities. Here are empirical results. To analyze Pakistan agriculture structure, main focus on wheat crop. By using a non-stationary model, data is taken for wheat yield along with other independent factors. The data set used for the analysis related to the wheat crop yield and taken from the agriculture statistics of Pakistan 2010 to 2011. Government of Pakistan Statistics Divisions, Pakistan Bureau of Statistics has made this survey. The data set is a panel data consisting of 17 years. The basic assumption of OLS, I have already mentioned this one. So this is for the Punjab. Markov switching model result of Punjab wheat yields. So this is the regime 1 and regime 2. These are the parameter estimation, estimated values, standard errors, t values, p values. So on the basis of these results, we are able to find the transition probabilities. So this is for the Punjab. The significant variable for Punjab wheat data are fertilizer, electricity consumption, credit by the institutions, and rainfall. Regime 1 is lower yield regime, while regime 2 shows high yield regime. The estimated value of the coefficient are interpreted as that 1 unit increase in fertilizer bring an average 0.9248. So this is the average value for which we compare. Unit increase in the wheat yield, while the yields is in low regime. The other independent variable are integrated in the same way. So this is the transition probability matrix for the Punjab wheat. So in the regime 1, the probability is very low, 0.224. So in regime 2, probability is very high. So at that time, it is interpretation is that at that time in coming year it increased. And this transition probability matrix shows that the of shifting from lower yield.
Mazhar, I think there is some internet issue.
सर जी हाँ सिग्नल बीच में जा रहे हैं सर के मैं भेजता हूँ किसी को चेक करवा
आप डॉक्टर साहब आप प्लीज स्क्रीन शेयर करें और ये अनम्यूट कर लें। मज़र हनीफ साहब का माइक ऑन।
मैं सर करता हूँ अभी।
ठीक है।
सर जी हो गया है कंटिन्यू करें।
Okay, I will share. So the next was about synth wheat yields. It is the same process as we have done for the Punjab. So this is the regime for the synth wheats. This transition probability matrix show that the wheat yields for synth data has a greater chance of being in higher yield regime and has also greater probability of shifting from lower yield regime to the higher yield regime.
ओए ला कि चेक करने की डेटा शो भी कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे हैं केस लगाने के बाद केस में लगाने के बाद
So this was the KPK wheat yields and it has the same regime. Similarly, it is for the Balochistan. The significant variable for the Balochistan wheat data are tractor, tubers, credit by institutions, and wheat price. The estimated value of the coefficient are interpreted as that 1 unit increase in tractor brings on average 0.0523 unit decrease in the wheat yield, while the yield in the lower regime The other independent variable is interpreted in the same way. So in Balochistan, it is remained in low regime.
इसके साथ करना किसके साथ
So,
तो मैं आपको कह देती हूँ कॉपी कैसे ना
so same here for the Balochistan. So
इधर ये
the-
मैं तो भेजता हूँ ना इसको बाकी डायरेक्ट मार दूँगा
So the work we have done that are one step projected transaction probabilities, which shows that for Punjab, Sindh, KPK province, there is high chance of wheat yield for the next year to transition from lower yield state to higher yield states. But for the Balochistan province, the chance of being in lower yield state or transition from higher yield state to lower state. So in Balochistan, it is opposite.
ऐसे
According to our data. So this was the projected transition for probability 2 for two years. This was the I will explain all together at the end. For 3 years, and this will be for the 5 years. This will be for the 5 years, 6 years. N is equal to 6. I have already told in while I was defining the model. N is equal to 6, for N is equal to 7, for N is equal to 8, for N is equal to 9, and N is equal to 10. So these steady states probabilities are very useful in projecting the wheat yield. According to these projected transition probabilities, the Punjab and Sindh provinces has a 41% chance of wheat yield to be in lower percent chance for wheat in the higher state. Higher state means there is more wheat. For KPK province, there is 45% chance of wheat yield to be a lower yield state, while there is 55% chance for wheat to be in a higher yield state, a 54% chance for wheat yield in the lower yield state, while there is a 45% chance for wheat to be in higher yield states. So this is overall results of our study of our model for using the data at that time. So the 3 years projected transition probability are cross-checked. We have checked, yes, with the real data of 2013 and 14, and has been found to be verified. Our data, our result was verified with the actual result by the Bureau of Statistics by other departments. On the basis of these transition probability, we can project the wheat yield structure after 10 years. After 10 years, these projected transition probabilities showed that after 10 years, Punjab, Sindh, and KPK would have greater probability of being higher yield state. Yes, now it is the era of there is high yield of the wheat in this era, and also great probability of going from lower yield state to higher yield state. From these transition probabilities, the agriculturist will infer that the next 10 years would be satisfactory in the term of high yield, and the farmers would be capable of satisfying high demand of wheat. But for Balochistan, the projected transition probability showed that after 10 years, the Balochistan province would have high probability of being a lower yield state, and would also have a greater probability of shifting from high yield regime to lower yield regime. The transition probability of Balochistan province would lead
प्रिज्म
the
वाली है ना
perform would
Crop
lead
path.
the farmer
हाँ ठीक है
in
सारा
a
काफी
position to struggle in coming future 10 years and to increase their yield to higher level. So this is main theme of our study we have performed.
इससे डालते हैं तो
So there is another way we have checked the projected transition probabilities. This is the regime 1, this is the regime 2, it is the filter probability of Punjab wheat. Similarly, it is filter probabilities for Sindh wheat data, and it is KPK, and it is for the Balochistan.
रास्ते से कर देगा वाह एक सिटी से सब बोल रखे हैं
At the end, we have the conclusions. The Markov switching model to project structural change in the Pakistan agriculture sector. A non-stationary Markov chain model is used and transition probabilities are obtained and which are used for the projection of next 10 year. Next 10 year mean we have used n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The projected pattern of structural changes showed a continuous increase in wheat yield in 3 provinces, except Balochistan, which shows a traditional decline that probably reflect the unsatisfactory economic and weather condition of the province. So here are the references. Here is now time of questions and answer, please. If you have any question, please ask me. Azam sir, any question, please, from the audience, from the researcher?
Thank you very much, Dr. Hanif, for your talk. Is there any question, please? Any student, any teacher, any participant can write, can raise hand. डॉक्टर साहब दो ही वजह होती हैं, या तो बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आता या ज्यादा समझ आ जाता
It is
ये
very
पीरियड्स
simple.
दिए अब इंशाल्लाह सब करेंगे
है। स्टैट वालों का मोस्टली होता है कि इसमें समझ नहीं आता।
नहीं हमने कोशिश की है डॉक्टर साहब अपना एक्सप्लेन करने की अप टू आवर नॉलेज. So I am really thankful to Dr. Azam for
जी
providing.
अभी कोई क्वेश्चन है डॉक्टर साहब, डॉक्टर कैसरा की तरफ से क्वेश्चन है?
जी हाँ जी सर, मैं यही बताना चाह रही थी कि डॉक्टर साहब ने बहुत अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया, बड़ा अच्छा इन्होंने रिग्रेशन को, इंडिपेंडेंट डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स को बड़ा अच्छा एक्सप्लेन किया, तो डेफिनेटली ये हमें भी अपनी सोशल साइंसेज रिसर्च में इसमें बड़ी मदद मिलेगी। और यही मैं बताना चाह रही थी कि लेक्चर इनका बहुत अच्छा, इन्होंने बड़ी अच्छी टॉक की है, तो मैं अप्रिशिएट करना चाह रही थी। जब आपने कहा ना कि समझ नहीं आई, तो मैं कह रही हूँ समझ आई हमें। थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर साहब, बहुत शुक्रिया। अल्लाह हाफिज़।
Thank you very much, madam. Actually,
any other question, please?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
जी please.
First of all, I must appreciate Dr. Azam for organizing this seminar, and I'm also grateful to Dr. Muhammad Hanif for imparting his productive and fruitful knowledge with us. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I just want to ask question that as you have explored the Markov switching model, so what do you suggest that the numerical computation of Markov switching model is easier as compared to other classical models for the prediction of the yield?
yes, madam, as you know, we have big data here, so we have to use the software to analyze such kind of model. There is MATLAB where we use the Markov switching model, and then we can analyze the data by using this model. and we have to manipulate, we have to construct our own model, because these are non-linear model. So it is very difficult to handle such kind of models. So we have to build our own programs. In MATLAB, we have done this one.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Please, any other question, please?
Okay, I am very thankful, Dr. Azam, who have done his excellent work while conducting such kind of seminar that are surely helpful for the faculty as well as for the betterment of the university. I really appreciate the vision of Dr. Azam. I am also very thankful for our worthy Vice Chancellor who give who give this valuable suggestion to Dr. Azam, and he is implementing such valuable, you can say, ideas. And it, of course, definitely the faculty must get a benefit from such kind of seminars. So I'm really thankful, Dr. Azam and Vice Chancellor of the university, for providing me such
Thank you. Hanji. Thank you, Dr. Hanif, for sparing your time for the students and the researchers. I will request all the research coordinators and the faculty members, please encourage your students to join these sessions, because teachers are sparing their time and the research students should take benefit from their talk. Today, the talk is over, and the next session will be on the 8th July. That will be from the veterinary faculty. Dr. Muhammad Arif Zafar will give the talk. Especially students from the zoology, entomology, biochemistry, biotechnology, and other relevant subjects must participate and listen this talk. For today, it's over. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Hanif, and thank you for students and teachers to stay with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.